Alan Shearer says what two Liverpool defenders did was unbelievable. The Newcastle United legend says Liverpool left-back Andy Robertson and centre-back Ibrahima Konate encouraged his players to go forward in the second half against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Liverpool defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-1 away in the Premier League on Saturday. Wolves took the lead after just 7 minutes and went into half-time 1-0 up. Jürgen Klopp's side staged a brilliant comeback in the second half, scoring 3 goals to take all 3 points from the game. Former Newcastle striker Alan Shearer noted how Robertson and Konate forced Liverpool players forward in the second half. "Look at Robertson and Konate, they push all their teammates forward and the difference between them and the first half was unbelievable," said Alan Shearer. Liverpool were poor in the first half against Wolverhampton Wanderers, but manager Jürgen Klopp, to his credit, picked his players up after the break. The Reds were the better team in the second half. And this is a big win for Liverpool. The Merseyside club is in a big race for the Premier League title this season. Manchester City are winning games and picking up points with ease, and Liverpool need to keep pace with Pep Guardiola's team. Klopp's team is still a work in progress in midfield and the new players are still adapting to each other. Therefore, back-to-back wins will shorten this adaptation period. Virgil van Dijk and Luis Diaz absolutely loved the 20-year-old Liverpool player's performance yesterday. Virgil van Dijk was one of many Liverpool players impressed by Kwanzaa against Wolves yesterday. The youngster posted on social media after making his first Premier League start for the Reds. It was one of the most blatant examples of games played in two halves in England's top flight this season. Much was made of Liverpool's poor record in league games played at 12:30 p.m. on a Saturday last season. They failed to win 6 times at this time last season, and at halftime it looked like that record would rise to 7. Wolves went into halftime 1-0 up and could have been further ahead had they not been so wasteful in front of goal. But Liverpool turned the game around in the second half through Cody Gakpo, Andy Robertson, and a deflected Harvey Elliott strike. Virgil van Dijk and Luis Diaz were among those impressed by Kwanzaa against Wolves yesterday. The 20-year-old has performed well whenever he has been called upon this season and started ahead of Ibrahima Konate, who is still working his way back to full fitness. Despite failing to keep a clean sheet, the young stopper came out of the match with more praise than some of his senior teammates. Posting on Instagram after the game, Kwanzaa said, "I'm happy to make my Premier League debut and crown it with a win. The support from the travelling support was great." Fellow youngster Harvey Elliott responded to Kwanzaa and said, "This guy," while Van Dijk and Luis Diaz also applauded his performance. Kwanzaa has earned the praise of many of his senior teammates, and Van Dijk is the latest to add his name to that list after the Wolves game. Alisson hailed his league debut against Newcastle, while Elliott also spoke about his performance. Kwanzaa earned praise from many of his senior teammates, and Van Dijk is the latest to add his name to that list after the Wolves game. Further talks on a move for the highly rated player are underway. Liverpool could be on the lookout for new signings in the January transfer window and are reportedly in very advanced talks with a player, according to a new report. The Reds have had a busy summer, completely overhauling their midfield after many problems in that area of the pitch last season, which played a big part in them finishing 5th in the Premier League. While aging players such as Fabinho and Jordan Henderson left for Saudi Arabia, Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai have impressively replaced them since their arrival. Wataru Endo and Ryan Gravenberch have also arrived as Jürgen Klopp looks to build his next big team at Anfield. In the end, however, the focus in the summer was solely on the midfield, a decision that confused some fans. Many felt that a new stopper was also needed to bring some freshness, not to mention more depth. Virgil van Dijk is now 32 years old and has been showing signs of cracking recently, while Ibrahima Konate, Joel Matip and Joe Gomez have also been sidelined with frequent injuries. While no central defender was signed in the summer, a new development suggests that one could be on his way to Merseyside in the near future. According to sources close to the club, Liverpool's talks with Bayer Leverkusen defender Piero Hincapié are at a very advanced stage, suggesting a move could be on the cards. The deal could be worth up to £48 million, although it has not been stated whether a January or summer transfer is the more likely option. Given that Hincapié is currently one of the highest-rated young stopper in Europe, it would be absolutely brilliant business for Liverpool to make this transfer happen. The 21-year-old has made 77 appearances for his current club and 27 caps for Ecuador, with former Leverkusen manager Gerardo Soán describing him as really impressive. Liverpool need a left-sided central defender who can also operate at left-back when needed, and Hincapie ticks all the boxes. He could come in as a strong option to compete for minutes with both Van Dijk and Andy Robertson, and at just 21, he could be a mainstay of the defense for many years to come. To be such an important player for club and country at such an age, in a position where experience is often vital, says a lot about the Ecuadorian's potential as a footballer, and if this intense interest translates into an eventual move, the Reds could be getting a special talent. Hincapie has shown his defensive qualities this season in the Bundesliga, averaging 3 tackles and 2.3 interceptions per game, while also completing 85.1% of his passes, showing that he can be impressive both with and without the ball, something Klopp expects from all his defenders. Klopp must try to find some form with the defenders he has available before half-time. Due to the injury problems of the current players, a move for Piero Hincapie could come in January. Liverpool's 81-pass wizard stole the show in Wolves' second-half comeback. Liverpool will be grateful that Wolves were strangely unable to capitalise on their first-half dominance in Saturday afternoon's clash at the Molino Stadium. A one-man change at halftime and some stern messages from Jürgen Klopp in the dressing room were enough to swing the momentum in the visitors' favour. Despite some excellent substitute performances from the likes of Harvey Elliott, Dominik Szoboszlai's relatively masterful performance in the second 45 should not be forgotten. The Hungarian was epic in the first half, but he was certainly not alone. So much so that Jürgen Klopp suggested that only Jürgen Kwanzaa was in the race at that stage of the game. The fact that even the absence of Alexis Mac Allister at the whistle for the start of the second half didn't completely disrupt the control in midfield showed just how important Szoboszlai is to this Liverpool team. The 22-year-old dynamo is quickly making himself indispensable in establishing any kind of dominance on the pitch. His shot attempts from distance and his pass completion percentage show just how good his performance is. His maestro in midfield was at his best against Wolves and was a big leader in the team's comeback win. Although the Hungarian is not yet fully settled, he is playing the role as if he has been playing for Liverpool for years. He tries to lead and ignite the team as much as he can. If he keeps this up, he will continue to be Klopp's prince in the midfield.